Hey, what's up YouTube? My name is Austin, and in this video we're going to break down 5 easy mini ramp tricks to learn, as a beginner. In this video, just a heads up, there's going to be parts from 2 sessions. I just can't film things right the first time, so I'm back here in the heat, 108 degrees Arizona, just trying to refilm some rock and roll stuff.
The tricks that we'll be going over today are the Pop-Tart, both Ollie and Fakie, the rock and roll, the Frontside Ollie, the Frontside Disaster, and then finally a Backside Disaster, which is personally one of my favorites, so we're gonna save that one for last. Let's break into the Pop-Tarts, both Ollie and Fakie. So this is actually, I guess it's technically a Pop-Tart Rock To Fakie or Pop-Tart Switch Rock, depending on the way you do it. But if we take a look at a little mini ramp right here, for example, Pop-Tarts are really just a nice little stylish add-on you can do to your Rock To Fakies or Switch rocks, and it just kind of helps you get a little more air and speed when you do the Pop-Tart to help set up for your next tricks, because you're getting a little extra momentum when you're coming back into that ramp, because you're coming from a little bit more of an air rather than just placing your board at the top of the ramp like a regular rock or switch rock. So when you're coming up the ramp, let's say you're going regular up the ramp, as you're approaching the ramp, you really want to start bending your knees, and then you want to give your front trucks a little bonk off that coping, almost like you're doing a little bit of a nollie. At first, you're going to just do it really tiny, so you may get like 1 inch. I think I only get like 2 inches when I do them without trying to go super high. And you just want to suck those up towards you and start just feeling that little air, and then come slam down like a regular Rock To Fakie from there. It's a super simple trick. It's honestly people can do them pretty stylishly. I've seen a ton of dope ones. Mine not so much, but I still got them.
So let's get into the backside rock and roll. Now, when it comes to learning this trick, it really is more of a commitment issue. Once you get over the fear of being able to rock back into the ramp, it's really pretty solid as long as you have a good kick turn down. So as you're approaching the ramp, you're trying to go as straight up as possible. Like with most, basic mini ramp tricks, you're trying to pick a straight line, go up that ramp, and letting your front trucks fall over the coping. And when you're first learning this trick, you're probably going to be, just barely tapping it over the coping and doing a quick turn in with your shoulders. You can make it nice, just a quick little tap and 180 in. But as you're getting better at it and, feeling more comfortable with your board being over the coping, you're really going to start wanting to push that board so far over the deck of the ramp that your back trucks are almost hitting the coping. And that's like an old school rock and roll. And that's kind of what you want to work up to if you really want to do it with some style and do it, how the original pool skaters did rock and rolls back in the day.
So we're gonna break into the frontside ollies, and it's kind of the beginner trick that really opens yourself up to airs much later on in your skateboarding progression. It's the first time you really feel like you're going out and over a ramp like you see in like cartoons or movies. Like it's the very first step to getting those kind of airs, and it's pretty cool. It's simple too. You want to start out by, if you have ollies on flat ground or frontside 180s on flat ground, it's a little bit different than a flat ground frontside 180 because the ramp is going to turn you a little bit more. So as you're going up the ramp, you really want to just go as straight as possible up, and then approach it like you're about to do an ollie on flat ground. Your knees are bent, your shoulders are, in their ollie position. And as you hit that tipping point of the ramp, your highest point that you think you're going to make it to, that's when you're releasing that ollie that you're already set up for. So you're really just pushing off that ramp with like a regular ollie, and you're turning your shoulders and hips like a frontside 180, and you can start doing them super low, and then you just slowly work your way up higher and higher up the ramp. Eventually you're going to be going over coping, which is that real legit air feeling that you're going to experience, and it's honestly quite cool. A lot of people have some commitment issues with trying to get over the coping for their first couple times, So one thing I really found that helps me almost guarantee that I'm gonna still make it over coping is I specifically point my eyes at the coping and try and do my pop right off the metal coping. And you can hear a slightly different clang usually because it's hitting off the coping instead of the wood. And it's definitely scarier because you could miss and then just like totally fly out of your air or something. But once you feel confident enough that you know you can slap your tail on that coping to do the ollie, you're gonna be going much higher just because you're legitimately popping off the highest point of the ramp possible. Things you want to look out for on the frontside ollie is having your back foot or either foot actually. Sometimes they will both come off when you're in the air. So just really keeping your feet flat as you're in the air, not trying to point your toes at all, will really help you, help the board stay stuck to your feet, and you won't end up having to run out or worse, end up in a really awkward like splits or something as you come down and your board's not in the right spot. So once you have the frontside ollie, now the next step is really to take it into a frontside disaster, which is almost the exact same thing, except for as you're coming back down the ramp, instead of going directly into the ramp, you are slamming your board, going up and slamming your board just like that, and then taking it in. So let's see if we can get a good visual here. Up like that, slam, in. So the frontside disaster is very cool because once you have the frontside ollie down, it's literally just pushing your weight a little back so you're more on top of the ramp instead of going directly back in. And it's a quick one too, so like once you feel confident in going up and slamming your board on the coping as you come back down, you can just push on your nose super quick and you can have a really fast, good looking, legit frontside disaster. Now, the biggest thing when learning this trick, if you're not comfortable with sliding and potentially accidentally doing a frontside lip slide, make sure you're going as straight as possible up that ramp, just so you're not sliding out on the coping. What I like to do is make an invisible line, or sometimes there is even a line going up, like more wooden or certain concrete ramps going straight up. Just follow that line up and make sure you're going as straight as possible on that line, and you're not going to slide out at all. Now we're going into backside disasters, and once again, a favorite trick of mine. It is absolutely one that I just don't even have to really think about when I do anymore. So it's one of the first tricks I'll typically do when I roll into a skate park on a transition ramp. The key thing here, this trick is all in your shoulders and just committing to staying within the ramp when you're going up to it. So a lot of people, they will try and start learning this trick, and they'll do like backside 180s out of the ramp and like land on top of it and try and hook their trucks in. That's even how I learned it, but that's really gonna get you in a habit of just doing a very slow version of the trick where you're just kind of standing on top of the ramp. The key thing here is to do it smoothly and quickly. So when you're going straight up a ramp, just like this one, you're approaching the top of the ramp, you really want to just throw your shoulders as hard as you can to do that backside 180 while still keeping your shoulders within the ramp. Like you're not throwing yourself above, you're keeping it with like almost under that coping on purpose, because it'll keep you in a position that'll make you ready to rock it back in as soon as you do that backside 180. You felt your deck kind of lock into being on top and slash on the side of the coping, and then you just push on that nose and make it super quick. I really just thought these would be 5 really solid, easy tricks that you can learn and add into your mini ramp arsenal if you're really starting to get into mini ramp skating. All right, so we're done. Those are the 5 easy mini ramp tricks you should learn, right now. Go on your board, find a mini ramp, and start working on them. Start building up your arsenal. I'm gonna go home because it is hot. It's very hot. Once again, leave a like if you enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful. Help out the YouTube algorithm, get it up there. Let's see if we can get some views on this video. Be sure to subscribe if you've been enjoying the channel, and hope to see you guys soon with some more content.